sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me. Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time, take a family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray. Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And I look like I'm going to break up. I am, because I wish we could really start about 15 minutes early every week and you could hear what goes on before we ever start. Now, I don't know. We might not have a show very long.
It's a show in a show.
I don't know.
Show, particularly on Fifth Saturday, you know, and the voices are already starting to blend in. And, yes, there's one that snuck in here that's normally here on the first Saturday. Well,
I just lose all track of time.
He loses all. He's been in Hawaii, you know, for 4 months in Hawaii out there. You know, seems like this is Fifth Saturday, which Charlie Covington is here. Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning, Larry.
And that will mean that Charlie will have a poem for later in the show, as we are the only outdoor radio show that I know has our own poet laureate, and that is Charles Covington from over there. And then, of course, Fifth Saturday means the other part of Brother Darrell and Darrell. It is back-to-back. Gene Smith.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
This morning and next week. I don't know. That gets kind of scary right there. And then, of course, we had to bring in Dave Gabbard because he is Gene's interpreter.
That's right.
So he can explain some of Gene's stories to us. But fresh back from Hawaii.
Yeah, I know how to speak Hawaiian.
You do?
Yeah, book him, Dano.
Book him, Dano.
All right.
Well, that's
bring back some memories.
Man, yeah.
I know that, and so I have a lot of fun on today's show. Shelby McCall, bless her heart, has to put up with us for the next 90 minutes as we talk outdoors on, of course, ESPN 790 here in Memphis and 92.9 HD-FM, and all you folks out in Brownsville, 1520 AM and 95.3 FM. And in Jackson on News Talk 101.5, the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio programming. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving.
And I can't believe this is the last day of November.
It is. What happened to the year?
What happened to the year?
Yeah, my stomach doctor called me the other day and said, why are you calling me? Well, it's time for your has it been that a year? Yeah, it's time for you to check up again. But,
come on in and bring your insurance
A lot
card.
of things going on. This is that time of the year. All you duck hunters are getting ready to depart. Should already be out there. We're going to talk a lot about duck hunting, not only in West Tennessee, but over in Arkansas. And so we're going to hook up in just a minute here with Frank
Barton. I'm telling you a little bit about Missouri.
And Missouri. So Shelby's going to get on the phone and see if she can hook up with Frank Barton for us. And find out how things went last Saturday on opening day of the Arkansas season. So we'll be talking to him. John David Santee is going to be in studio, and you're going to find out about this young man at 22 has already got a guide service, fly fishing adventures, and the Teton Valley Lodge in Driggs, Idaho.
Oh, wow.
John Santee will be in here, and then the cornbread man himself, Johnny Warren. Who better to talk about Reelfoot Lake waterfowl than Johnny Cornbread Warren? We're going to talk to Johnny this morning. Hope that Marty Marbury will be able to join us in studio and dance into the room like she does once a month to talk West Tennessee tourism. And then you better be sharp for this segment because I love knives. Everybody knows I've loved knives. I've had my little buck knife forever, and I've lost it 8 times, and it keeps coming back. Sharp knives, and we're going to talk to Josh Warren. And get this now, guys. He is the product expert and the Stoke ambassador for Work Sharp knife sharpeners, and they've got 5 new ways to sharpen your knife. And what better time to do that? And then, of course, Charlie will close us out with a poem called "Silent Visitor." And that does not represent any of us in here. I can tell you that for now.
Not today.
Not today. So a lot of things on the show. Shelby, hook up with Frank there. See if you get on Frank on the line.
He's
with
talking
us.
sharp knives.
Yeah.
People, you'll break their hearts when you quit carrying sharp knife. Be the Band-Aid people.
The Band-Aid people. Yeah. Hey, he was. When we talked to Josh Warren a little while, he was talking about how you could tell if your knife is sharp, and I want to ask him about that because you actually. He does a demonstration. I saw it on YouTube where he takes the knife and he runs it across his thumbnail. And if it hangs up, it's sharp. If it doesn't, that's bad. But if it slips,
that's bad too.
That's bad too. So
and if your thumb falls to the floor, you got it, man.
You got it. Thumbs up to him. That's what happens. But talking outdoors on Outdoors with Larry Ray, I'm really looking forward to this show. I think you're gonna have a lot of fun and. Let's kick it off real quickly here because I know last Saturday was opening day in Arkansas. There was a lot of water. There was a lot of ducks. We talked to Frank Barton on last week's show from the blind, and so let's check back with Frank and see how it went last weekend. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, everybody.
Well, talk about it. You had your grandson there. You had your son there. You had your buddies with you and everything like that. You had water. You had ducks. How was it?
Yeah, it was a really good. It was a really good weekend.
What did you have?
It was close to perfect.
Close to perfect. Now we haven't always had that before, but there were mallards.
A lot of mallards right now compared to this time last year. Mostly we had gadwalls this time last year, but mostly mallards. Quite a few teal, spoonbills, and. Not a whole lot of gadwalls right now, but and we're going to kick it off here in just
a few minutes.
We're about 10 minutes away from shooting time this morning.
And you're back. You're back in Lansing Bottoms. Is that right?
Back in Lansing.
Okay. Now I know you had a good weekend last year, opening weekend, and then things kind of went a little bit sour the rest of the year. But I'm thinking when we talk to Johnny Warren up in Reelfoot in a little while, and Dave Gabbert's going to talk a little bit about Missouri. I think there's more optimism from what I've heard, Frank, in this first week than maybe in a long time. You get that feeling too?
I would agree with that based on the people that have come in and talked to me at the dealerships. There's an awful lot of water everywhere.
Yes.
And whenever we have an awful lot of water, we have ducks.
And
especially early in the season.
Yeah, and we've had some more rain on Thursday and rain a little bit on Thanksgiving. I hope you and your family had a great Thanksgiving. So this weekend promises to me, it's going to be a good time. And explain to our listeners out there the seasons in Arkansas because, the split season, sometimes people get confused a little bit about that. But Arkansas is one of those states that you don't duck hunt on Christmas.
No, you don't duck hunt on Christmas or Christmas Eve, but our season is set primarily by the people in Stuttgart for the Wings Over the Prairie Festival.
Yeah.
And so we'll get 2 weekends, and then of course the Wings Over the Prairie Festival is going on today.
Yes. Yeah.
There in Stuttgart, and then we're off for a little bit, off for about a week,
then
we come back, and then we come back into Christmas Eve.
And then you're off.
Take 2 days off then, and then we come back.
Come back to the end of January, so you got plenty of time. All right. Well, I know I wanted to get a report from you. You sounded like you had a really good time, particularly with some mallards in the area, and there's no problem with water situation. Nobody's pumping because if I don't know what it is in Missouri. What are you hearing from up there, Dave?
I haven't heard a whole lot out of people in Missouri.
Well, Dave's been there.
Seems to think that they're doing okay.
All right, Dave. Dave's here. He knows Missouri.
Yeah, of course. Talking to a few people, last weekend was Missouri's youth hunt.
Youth hunt.
That's always, Missouri season's open on Thanksgiving.
Right.
And the south, Missouri's broken up in 3 zones: north, middle, south.
So did they chase some of the ducks down to Frank?
And,
Frank wants them to come down.
Probably.
There you go, Frank.
Yeah.
They've chased them.
But some reports. We're down in the boot hill down there, and some of the blinds that were hunting. Some of the guys. They had pretty good luck.
All right, well,
and of course, we were over there up in the middle of the day throwing decoys out.
Yeah.
The blinds, getting ready for the opening on Thanksgiving, and I thought I'd see more geese than what I
that's
seen.
what I was going to ask Frank.
Did see some swans.
You did see some
Yeah,
swans?
seen some swans.
How about you, Frank? Have you seen any snows or anything? Any geese?
No, have not.
Okay, that's what I was wondering because
Have not seen those yet.
and we
Now, people over in the McCrory area, they're doing. They've been doing pretty good with the speckled bellies.
okay, yeah.
And at least that's my reports that I've gotten from those folks.
All right, Frank. Well, we appreciate you, buddy, and thank you for reporting. And we'll check back with you pretty soon. You'll be back here on the third Saturday. See you then. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you, Larry.
Thanks, Frank.
Yeah.
All right, Frank Barton, Barton Power Sports.
The strange part about duck hunting, of course, I'll be leaving. After
I know
the show,
you're
I'm
leaving
going
right
up
after
there.
this.
Missouri's, they have kind of a weird season. Thanksgiving to the 1st,
Yeah.
which will be tomorrow.
Yes.
And it
yeah.
shuts down, opens back again on the 7th.
Okay, so they have a week off.
Yeah, and then goes to the 31st. But
We don't do that in Tennessee.
it's strange to today being 70 degrees.
Hey, we just can't.
we-
The weather
it's-
does. We can't worry about the weather.
Tennessee traditionally.
All right, I got
We'll have
the
a
dates
2-day
right here.
season.
Okay, I'm looking at them.
Okay,
All
2 day. Today
Yes.
and
yeah.
tomorrow.
Yes.
And then it shuts down
Yeah.
and then opens up again a week from today
Yes, it does.
and
Yeah.
goes on straight
Okay.
through the 31st.
Opens today and goes through December the 2nd. That's the first little segment in
Mm-hmm.
there. And then I'm looking back here, and then it jumps back in December let's see, what is it here? I'm looking at ducks and everything. Where is all this good stuff that I always have to look for? There it is. December the 7th, all the way through the 31st of January. All right. Going to talk a lot of ducks. Going to talk a lot of outdoors. On Outdoors with Larry Ray. We'll take a break. Be right back and talk about a big event that's going on in town that probably everybody knows about. It's called Black Friday. Yesterday and Black Saturday, Black Sunday. It's just all black. We'll be right back.
Shop.
We'll be right back.